In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 10 of my slow living essentials. Let's get right into it. Okay friends, I wanted to start this video off by quickly putting out a disclaimer that this video is going to be product based. So I'm going to be talking about slow living essentials that are products as opposed to experiences, ideas, concepts, things like that. And the reason why is because we are heading into sales seasons right now. I feel like there's a sale everywhere you go right now. And I figured if you were interested in any of the things that I talk about in today's video, you would be able to snag it up on a sale. I would love for you to save money as opposed to spending more money. So that's why the video is coming out now. But I also want to put out a disclaimer saying that none of the things in this video are required in your slow living journey. These are my slow living essentials, and I will also talk about why they are important in my slow living journey, but they're individual to me and they might resonate with you, so that's why I'm sharing them with you. But if they do not resonate with you at all, that is 100% okay. Think of this more as a prompt to think about the things that are around you in your day-to-day and how they impact you in a positive way, and maybe you'll discover what is actually part of your slow living essentials as well. And if you do end up figuring that out through this prompt, let us know in the comments what is part of your slow living essentials. I would love to know. I would love for you to help inspire others who are on their slow living journey, but wanted to put those two disclaimers out right at the very top because I know we are in an era of overconsumption, and the last thing that I want you to do when you're watching a video of mine is to feel like you need to purchase something to live a slower life or have a successful slow living journey. You absolutely do not have to. Okay, now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's jump right into my essentials. Like I said, I have 10 of them. And the first thing is my espresso machine. So I have the Breville Barista Plus. Almost forgot for a second. It is an older model. I got it, I think, 3 years ago, and it was in the $750 range. So at the time, it was quite pricey. So I know for sure it's going to be on sale nowadays because it's old. But this is one of those products that you purchase once in your life, I think, and you don't ever have to purchase one again because it is a solid tool and it should last you forever. And I will say it has lasted me this long, and I don't anticipate anything ever happening to it, to be honest with you. This machine is perfect for anyone and everyone who loves coffee. I am a former barista. I don't know if people knew that, but I have a fantastic time using it. I have an easy time using it, but I feel like people who simply like espresso drinks are also going to have an easy time using it. It's very easy to use, long story short, and it gets you a fantastic cup of coffee every single time. You do not need something super fancy, by the way, to get a fantastic cup of coffee. Now, you all probably know why this is important in my slow living journey. Coffee is a big thing in my slow morning routine. It's probably definitely my favorite part of my morning routine. I love coffee, not just for the caffeine part. I love coffee because I love the taste of it. I love experimenting with coffees. I like trying new coffee drinks. The whole experience around it, the whole process of making a cup of coffee, that's really special to me, and it really romanticizes my mornings. And like I said, it's my favorite part of my morning. So that's why it's important in my slow living journey. And to segue into what coffees exactly I like, another essential that is on my list is Trade Coffee. So you all know I've worked with Trade Coffee in the past, and I'm not saying this just because I've worked with them in the past. I'm saying this because I truly, truly loved their brand. So if you've never heard of Trade Coffee before, essentially it's a coffee subscription service. So you start by taking a quiz and you put in all of your coffee drinking habits, and then the quiz will give you a result of different coffees that Trade thinks will be a perfect match for you. And then from there, you can schedule your coffees to be delivered to you on a weekly, bi-weekly basis, etc., and all of that good stuff. I love to experiment with coffees. I already mentioned that in this video, but I will never stick to one brand. I will never stick to one roast or one location of roasting. I will always try something new when it comes to coffee because I love the experience of trying something new there. So that's one big reason why I absolutely love Trade. I also love the quiz part. The quiz part is so fun. But also, Trade works with local small roasters. They are an ethical service, they're a sustainable service, and that's really important for me in my slow living journey as well. And of course, they always send me coffee that always hits. It's always a good experience whenever I get coffee from there. So that is my little coffee spiel. Started that off right at the top. But the next item on my list I've talked about really recently. It is my Sony XM4 headphones. I did a video on this very recently. I did a pros and cons video, so you all know that I absolutely love these headphones. And why it's important in my slow living journey to have these headphones is that they make my 9 to 5 work week really, really pleasant. It brings a little bit of joy into my 9 to 5. It breaks up the mundane of my 9 to 5. I listen to podcasts, I listen to audiobooks, I listen to feel-good YouTube videos while I'm working, while using these headphones. And the experience of having headphones that work perfectly is so nice. But then, of course, it also helps me bring a little bit of joy into my day by being able to listen to these things that make me feel good. So 100% part of my slow living routine, and honestly, I use them for majority of the day, so they take up a good chunk of my day. So they are very important to me, and if something like that is important to you, these are the headphones. These are also old headphones, and I talked about it in my pros and cons video, so I won't be redundant, but these are old headphones, but they're so high quality that, once again, you only buy something like this once, and then you never have to buy anything again, another pair of headphones again. At least I think so, at least I hope so. Okay, moving on. Comfy clothing. I need to be comfortable every single day. I've established it, I've realized it, and I have accepted that I need to be wearing comfy clothing every single day. You'd be surprised at how much being uncomfortable with your outfit can impact your mood. For me, at least, it would make or break my day if I left the house and I was wearing something that I was not comfortable in. For starters, if you're not comfortable, you're not comfortable, and that's not a good experience. That's not a pleasant experience. But also, if you're not comfortable in the outfit you're wearing, it can really diminish your confidence for the day, and that is the case for me. So I'm always wearing something comfortable. If you watch any of my videos, you'll see I'm wearing more or less something like what I'm wearing right now. And if I could shout out a brand, I would shout out Girlfriend Collective, because one, they're a sustainable brand. We love sustainable brands. I think that's part of slow living 100%. Two, they have extremely high quality, comfortable clothing. So I'm wearing a sports bra from them right now. It fits fantastic. I never have issues with fitting, and I never try it on in store. I always order from Girlfriend Collective online. Never had issues. It is so comfortable. I can wear a sports bra all day long, and it will not feel like I'm wearing like a super tight, uncomfortable piece of clothing. I love them so much. So highly recommend them if you're ever looking for a particular brand for comfy clothing. And they don't only have sports bras, so just a heads up there. Okay, the next thing on my list are sketchbooks, pens, and paints. So basically like hobby materials. We all know I'm embracing the year of the hobby this year, but I specifically put sketchbooks, pens, and paints as opposed to the other things that I have in my life that are hobby related, such as books and games, because sketchbooks, painting, art in general brings about a bit of peace in my life that is unlike anything else. It's a hobby of mine that really helps me escape, really helps me disappear into the world of art, and it brings me so much joy. It really takes me back to my inner child days when I was in first grade and I told everybody that I wanted to be an artist. It brings me so much joy to experience art, not just through the materials that I mentioned and actually creating art, but also experiencing art from other people, from fellow creators, from like going to museums and things like that. So that one is really near and dear to my heart, so I just wanted to shout out sketchbooks, pens, and paints. I will never gatekeep sketchbooks, pens, and paints, like art materials. Art materials can be super cheap, art materials can be super expensive, so I'll just say that you should go to an art store, see what vibes with you the best, and go from there. Whatever you're comfortable with in that space, go with it. It doesn't matter about the price. If it's super cheap, if it works for you, it works for you, especially if we're talking about a hobby here. Okay, moving on to some wellness things. So I do not have it with me here, which is so funny, but usually I have my Stanley Cup with me everywhere I go. It's the 40-ounce one. It's the one that everybody loves to love and loves to hate because it's super, super trendy. But for me personally, I absolutely love it. I got it as a gift, I think 2 years ago now, and I love it so much. It makes me excited to get hydrated. And I think that's the most important thing. The whole point of the Stanley mug is so that you can have a vessel to drink your liquids, and the Stanley mug or the Stanley cup does inspire me to drink my liquids, my water, every single day. And 40 ounces of it is a lot too. So I go through about 2 of those a day. It doesn't spill for me. The water stays super cold. It will stay cold for well over 24 hours. I just love the experience of it. I like the design of it. I like the color that I went with. Some people may absolutely hate it, and that's totally fine. If you can find a vessel for liquids that make you happy, then go with that. But in the same realm of wellness and hydration, I have been really loving Moon Juice. So if you don't know what Moon Juice is, it's a brand that has like electrolytes, supplements, things of the sort. And I particularly like the Mini Dew electrolytes from Moon Juice. I actually have it here. You can probably tell that it is very early in the morning, which is why I have this, because this is part of my morning routine. By the way, the Stanley is part of my day-to-day 24/7 routine, and it makes me happy in terms of slow living because I want to be hydrated. I want to feel good on the inside and outside, so there's that. Same goes with my Mini Dew and my Moon Juice. I get my electrolytes in first thing in the morning. I put a scoop of the Mini Dew in here, and this is about 4 cups. And I drink this every single morning as part of my morning routine. And not only am I getting my hydration and I love being hydrated as part of my slow living journey and, you know, making sure that I'm taking care of myself, which is an act of self-love, but I love having this part of my morning routine ritual. I actually look forward to having this every single day. It's so delicious. It's a good experience. I am super hydrated. I love it. I love it so much. And I know that sounds silly to say about, you know, electrolytes in a few cups of water, but I actually get bummed out if I do not have access to my Mini Dew, which is wild, but I really love it that much. Moving on to another wellness item are my Dew eye patches. So if you've watched any of my morning routine videos, you will see me put on these eye patches. They are reusable eye patches. So you purchase them once and you never have to purchase another pair again. You essentially just put eye serum underneath it and then you put the eye patches on, as opposed to getting disposable eye patches that you have to toss out after every single use that has like serum kind of like coated all over it. I love that it's sustainable. I love that I only had to purchase it one time and I will never have to purchase eye patches ever again. I used to feel really bad when I would buy those disposable ones and have to literally throw it in the trash after one use. So this makes me feel really good that I have a sustainable option, and they work really well, to be honest with you. I've been using them since December or January, and they've held up, and I do feel like there's a difference in terms of hydration around my eyes. And if you haven't noticed, I have really deep set dark circle type eyes, so something like that is important to me, and it brings a little bit of self-love and self-care to my morning routine in a very tiny way. Those little tiny things add up and is super important for your overall well-being, or my overall well-being. So I find it to be super important to have these little things that bring me a bit of joy every single morning. As you can tell, morning routines are super critical for me in my slow living journey, which is why a lot of these things are part of my morning routine. And then the last thing is also like wellness, mental health. I think I skipped something. Hold on, let me move back up. I skipped one thing, which was another wellness body movement type of item, which is my walking pad. So my walking pad, I've had my walking pad for well over a year, maybe 2+ years at this point. It goes underneath my desk, and if you don't know what a walking pad is, it's essentially like a treadmill but minus all of the bulkiness. It's just the bottom part of the treadmill, so to say, and you can tuck it under your desk if you're working from home, or if you can put it in front of your TV, whatever it may be, and then you can walk. You don't have to like run, you don't have to jog, you can simply walk, and that's exactly what I do. I go on my walking pad every single day, Monday to Friday, for several hours of the day. It definitely breaks up my Monday 9 to 5, just like my headphones do. Usually the whole combination is me on my walking pad working with my headphones on, and I have the most fantastic experience. I love working from home because I have this incredible setup that makes me feel good physically, mentally, while also getting my job done. So I love my walking pad. I feel like it's an essential for my life from this point onward. I feel like my life has been completely changed, and I know that sounds super dramatic, but I feel so much more alert. I feel so much more positive. I feel so much more happier physically, mentally. I've even told my dietitian about my walking pad, and then she went ahead and told a bunch of other people about my experience with it because it has been that incredible. So I had to mention the walking pad. I can't believe I almost forgot it, but I had to mention it. It's just so, so important to me. And I feel like walking pads have been on sale constantly since they've been trending online. So if you needed like a trusted review as opposed to people that just talk about it on TikTok, I can talk the world about my walking pad if you want me to. So if that is your reason to finally pick one up, I hope it is. I've gotten a lot of people to pick a walking pad up, by the way. Moving on to the last item. It's also wellness / mental health based, but it is my morning pages. So the good thing about this one is that there's nothing specific, just like the sketchbooks, paints, and pens. There's nothing specific here that you would need to get that's similar to what I have. If you don't know what morning pages are, it's essentially a practice that you do. It is a practice that comes from The Artist's Way. That is like a super popular book that's out there for creators. It's sort of like a course for creators to kind of kickstart their artistry and their creativity again if they have lost it or if they need some inspiration. And what you do with the morning pages is that you get a journal, a physical journal. I recommend you use something physical, and you write every single morning 3 pages, freehand, no thought behind it, just go at it for 3 pages every single morning. And I have been doing that since January, and I'm still doing it. I absolutely love this practice. And I think the whole point of the practice is to kind of just get everything that's in your mind out on a piece of paper first thing in the morning so that you can, so to say, let it go and move on with your day and open up space, time, and mental capacity for things that you actually want to focus on. And obviously, in terms of The Artist's Way, we're talking about creativity, but I think this is great for mental health for anyone. If you just have a lot on your mind and you want to take the mental load off and throw it into a space somewhere that is easy to just physically tuck away, which is why I definitely recommend you physically do this. It feels a lot better when you're physically doing it. I wholeheartedly recommend that, and I think the author of The Artist's Way also recommends that it's a physical journal. So good news, you can get whatever notebook you want. You can get a super cheap composition notebook. You can get something fancier if you want, but all that you need is a notebook and a writing utensil, and you just write for 3 pages every single morning. You don't have to be an artist or creator to do it, and you definitely don't need to participate in the Artist's Way course if you don't want to, but give that practice a try and let me know what you think about it. But that is all for my 10 items, my 10 slow living essentials. If any of these things are on sale, and I almost am sure that a lot of these are going to be on sale because they're older, I will link them down in the description box. And another reminder that you 100% do not need any of these items. If you don't have them, if you feel like you've never needed them, this is more so my experience with certain products that have just been part of my life for several months at a time, if not years at a time. And a lot of these things are also sustainable brands and long-lasting items that you can purchase once and never have to purchase again. So if you do need anything on this list, I hope it will have a positive impact the way that it has a positive impact in my life, and you'll be able to snag it up on a sale, and you'll be able to keep it for a very long time, if not forever. I hope it inspired you to think about all of the everyday things that are already in your life that impact you in a positive way when it comes to your slow living journey. Would love to hear about it, but I will talk to you in the next video.